Good morning, YouTube. It's a little after 4, just woke up. My mom and dad are still sleepy, so I don't want to be too loud. Welcome to the video. Today is another day of a day in the life of a P4 pharmacy student. I am in my 6th rotation site. It is Trenton Capital Health Hospital. It's another clinical rotation. It's my 3rd and final clinical rotation. Picked a very busy day to take you guys around. Got my seminar that's due tomorrow, so my last big project, because this is my last week. So that's my last big project, probably of rotations, because this is my final clinical. So excited to get that done, but I have a lot of work to do on that. I just have a few meetings today, and I have to review something because we have a discussion today. So it'll be a fun, busy day. But first, we're going to start off the day. I have my breakfast right here. We have some Greek yogurt, 3 of these. Those are a really convenient way to get in protein too. Sometimes I bring these in for lunch if there is a refrigerator. But these little cups is like 12 grams of protein, 8 grams of carbs. And then I got a box. It's upside down, but from PES Science. So I'm gonna open that up in a little bit. Today I'm just going in. It's more of a pump workout. It's not one of my compound lift workouts. So I got a few things from there. I went hard on Black Friday this year because they had 50% off. So we're gonna see what's inside there. And today's mainly just like a pump workout. I know a weak spot on my physique is my back and my little traps. So I'm gonna be doing some rack pulls and probably a lot of like back movements and mainly going for the pump. Let's see what's in that box first. Alright, so we got some aminos, we got high volume, so mainly a pump product, so I'm going to be taking this today. Got the Blue Frost flavor, got cotton candy pre-workout, and we got some peanut butter cookie protein because I heard this is really good. I'm taking this to China because I leave for China this Friday. So I'm going to be taking that. I'm just going to use this because I'm going to get a pre-sick pump today. Alright, so I finished out the workout. Now I'm going to be heading over to Trenton. It's about 7:10 and I got to be there by 8, so I think it's like a 35-minute drive for me. Also going to grab for these guys for today, 2 I'm going to eat right now, and then I'm also going to have 2 for lunch. But I've been skipping lunch recently because I'm just eating bars anyway to work on this seminar/case presentation that is due tomorrow. Alright, so we made it here. I am a little late because we're into a bit of traffic. So it's around 8:05, so heading in now, and I'll show you the place, or at least like the part that I walked through. And this is the parking lot. Good morning. This is Amir. He's also on rotation at this site. So typically the plan for today is right now it is about 8, so we would work up patients for an hour, and this is different than the ICU because here we'll typically take like 3, 4, or 5 patients on at once, and we'll just have all their treatment and everything over that, and we'll do a pre-round at like 9. So instead of in the ICU we would have 1 at a time, now we have multiple, but the disease states are a lot easier and less complicated. So we'll do that. Today's different though because we have the seminar due tomorrow, and we also have to review something, pharmacist perspective on CDC guideline, opioids and chronic pain. So we're having a discussion on that today, so I may just use this time to read up on that because I don't think we're having a patient discussion today. And either that or I'm going to work on the seminar and case presentation for tomorrow. And also, Since there's Wi-Fi, I am uploading the last rotation cycle. So yes, that ended like 4.5 weeks ago, but I'm uploading today. This one will probably be up after I'm back from China. But that's the plan for now, up until 9. We're gonna see what the plan is. We're meeting with our preceptor at 9, gonna see what we're doing for the day. Usually we would go up at 10 for rounds, and then just round on the patients that we work up, but I think this week we're not working up patients because we have these presentations and discussions today. Check out the Christmas tie. Good morning, Pranitha. Here's the other student with Dr. Bezia. My preceptor, Dr. Bezia.
Hello.
Perfect. So now we're gonna have a meeting and go over what we're gonna do today. Alright, so the meeting's done. The plan for today, we're not working on patients, we're not going on rounds. For the next 2 hours, we're meeting again at 11 to go over what we were assigned. So there's a new insulin dosing protocol in here. So it's pretty much like you go through this chart to do how many units of insulin someone needs and how they're gonna be receiving it. We're just double checking because that thing was newly introduced here. It's like a new way that they're figuring out the units. Now we're double checking how people are implementing it. So we're just gonna do a few patients through these algorithms. And then at 11, we're gonna go through the thing that I was supposed to review about prescribing opioids. So that's the plan for the next 2 hours. Then I'm also gonna get that video up over here. So we just finished up our meeting, our discussion at 11. We talked for like an hour. The majority of it was talking about like opioid use, and then also we talked about cannabis use and if that is legalized and what that's going to mean pharmaceutically. The main point with that is like in marijuana there's like 600 different chemicals in them, and with pharmaceuticals usually you just give like one chemical compound. You just give one thing. So that's why it's less controllable just using the actual plant. So interesting perspective, because my preceptor had debates while he was at mid-year, which was last week. So it was cool to see his perspective on that. So we talked for an hour about that stuff. We handed in those diabetes things with the new insulin. So at 1 we're going to be doing, the other students are going to be coming from Hopewell, and we're going to go over the MedRec audits. So what we've been doing is checking in the system with patients, and when they come in, nurses will see what the patient was on at home, and they try to like match what they were taking at home and then make adjustments while they're inpatient. And then at the end, they discharge them, and they also discharge them on certain medications. So we're making sure that those 3 things, the MedRec when they come in, what they take during, and then the discharge MedRec, make sure that all like works together. So that's what we've been working on, usually 2 patients per day. So we're all going to go over that at 1 and see where everyone's at and any feedback. Probably after that, I think my preceptor's going back over to the school, so he's busy the rest of the day. So probably we're just gonna have to work on our seminar, which I'll probably stay here for, because the information with my patient is only on these computers. I can't access that because HIPAA and everything. So probably just stay here a little extra. And if I stay extra, I probably want to miss traffic, so stay extra. But that's the move for now. Right now I'm gonna work on some of those insulin things, and then also work on my seminar. Here's the front and the back of the MedRec audits that we have to do. Just pretty much checking if their intake matches what they're taking in the hospital, and then on discharge we check to make sure that the stuff they're given when they're discharged matches what they were taking inpatient. So fill out 2 of these today. 1 o'clock discussion time. Here are the other students. What's going on, guys?
Hey.
What's up?
Say hi to YouTubes.
YouTube, why?
Alright, so that meeting's done. Pretty much we just went over the MedRec audits that we've been doing, that I showed you the form that we're filling out. So each of us has to do like 14 by the end of our rotations. We finished up that. Now it is, I think, around 1:30. So my preceptor's going to the school, and then we have the rest of the day to work on our seminars. That's due tomorrow, so I'm gonna get on one of the other computers and get the information that I need and work on that. Maybe I have to stay late today. Typically by 1:30 or 2, we're already like out of here. Alright, hey guys, I'm here with my preceptor, Dr. Bezia. Just finished up for the 5-week rotation in internal medicine. I'm gonna ask Dr. Bezia a few questions. First question, I guess, like, tell us a little about yourself and
Sure.
what you do here at Capital Health.
Sure. So, my name's Dan Bezia. I've been working at Capitol Health for now a little bit over 5 years. Rutgers grad of 2005 at the pharmacy school. Had obviously been a pharmacist since that time. And what I do, God, I'm like a jack of all trades here, as I think as Kevin has seen. So I'm considered the internal medicine clinical pharmacist, and what that means is more or less I am kind of the liaison from the pharmacy with a lot of our medical staff that are more in general practice, and everything in between there. So anything drug related to those general medicine, I am involved in, from committees to policies, procedures, drug protocols, patient specifics, those, direct patient care on the floors. That's what I do. Other areas that I work with just because of either my own interest and need has been our large dialysis population, especially in terms of helping them with their formulary, with drug policies, not so much direct patient care. Another area that I'm very interested in has been pain management and palliative care. So I round with our palliative and supportive care team on a weekly basis, as Kevin's seen, kind of their sit-down rounds. We discuss a number of patients, and if drug issues come up, me or the students are involved in that. As well as I'm now overseeing what's called our opioid stewardship program, where we're trying to minimize inappropriate use of opioids, but also maximize pain management in that population. And so that's a few things. We've rolled out, as Kevin has seen, an insulin protocol over the past week that I've been involved in. So I more or less say I do everything that my other colleagues don't. So I kind of, again, that jack of all trades, which I generally enjoy, but at times it can be quite a busy time. And I'll just add one last thing. My career has moved from more direct patient care to more of administrative, a little bit more managerial, if you will, just to have kind of more of a reach outside of just one specific patient.
Yeah, so on rotation we've been lucky, me and the other student, we've been able to sit in a lot of these meetings with the various committees that you're a part of, and also like pretty much the head of a lot of them, leading the meetings. So involved in a lot of things in the hospital specifically, and also throughout my graduate years in the classroom. Dr. Beza has given a lot of lectures, and you have your own elective as well. Right?
Yes, elective called Concepts in Palliative and End-of-Life Care. That is start in the spring again.
So it keeps very busy in the hospital, and then also keeps busy with the school as well.
Too busy sometimes, as we were just saying, too busy.
Yeah, so that's an option to you as a pharmacy student if you want to do that in the future. But Dr. Beza, what do you have some of us students like me and Pranitha do on a typical day-to-day basis?
So my philosophy has always been to really, get you involved as much as possible, right? In what I do, which is, again, is multifaceted. So what you would do normally in the morning would be to work up patients for a specific medical team. We have 3 resident teams throughout the hospital that round on a day-to-day basis, and so a student would be working with one of those teams and following those patients that they round on Monday through Friday. That would take up oftentimes much of the morning. We would usually meet right before round starts, somewhere around 9, go through patients, and then you guys would go up and round, as you'd say. Break for lunch, right? Everyone's got to eat, including me. I will never not have anyone do lunch. And then come the afternoon would be either topic discussions, presentations of other students or themselves, following up on consults. So a big part of what I do as well is kind of oversee a pharmacy consult service, where we will be consulted by a physician group, just like a cardiologist would or ID doctor, and follow up on patients. And our patient population we target is our geriatric trauma as well as complex pain patients. And so as Kevin and his colleague saw, they were able to get involved with working up a patient, looking through their chart, getting information, meeting with the patient, right? Talking to them, getting a med history, talking to family, calling pharmacies, and then putting together, using in the SOAP note format, recommendations for either fixing specifically their pain regimen or holistically like a geriatric trauma patient. So stopping meds that could cause them to fall, helping them go to the bathroom better because of opioids, things like that. That's personally one of the areas that I think is most useful to you guys, and one that I find most valuable, because the pharmacist is directly involved in care, not just kind of this passerby who's providing recommendations.
So we've also gotten a variety of things we've been able to do here, especially we helped roll in the insulin protocol and do a variety of tasks. So I guess also my final question is,
Sure.
What made you choose being a clinical pharmacist as opposed to being community or staff or any other things?
Yeah, that's a good question, and thank you for reminding me about the protocol. Again, like, the biggest thing I think for learning when experiential is just that, like, you need to get the experience, and I always have a plan going in for my rotations, but I also know that different projects, different scenarios, I think whenever I can, I try to get you guys involved. So hopefully that was helpful as you finish up your rotation. So what got me involved in clinical pharmacy and health system pharmacy, I think, was just when I was contemplating pharmacy school. I was already at Rutgers. I went to Rutgers just kind of as an undecided. I think I was going to become pre-med, quote unquote. And I had never really thought about pharmacy until I was taking some of the basic courses that we all have to take. I met some pharmacy students, and I kind of was learning about the program, and then it was kind of an accelerated PharmD, and kind of beginning to piece together what a pharmacist does, because all I really knew of them was my community pharmacy where I grew up. And at the time, that didn't really interest me, because I had worked a lot of retail. I have an aunt and uncle who have a retail store that I worked a lot in, and I just was like, I don't want to be kind of in that environment. So as I investigated what a pharmacist does and the PharmD program, and I realized there was a big role for them in a hospital setting, and that kind of interested me. I think maybe because I wanted more of that. I was more interested in medicine in general, and as I explored that more, I learned about training opportunities after graduation, like residencies, and that kind of a light bulb went off. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe that would be kind of neat to do. And then I saw that pharmacists work more in industry, and there's just a lot of opportunities beyond the community pharmacist, which by no means am I knocking community pharmacy. It is critical, and now with like the Aetna CVS merger, I mean, even more so, more important. But that wasn't. It is huge. That wasn't my big interest, but it was more the health system side. So once I decided to go to pharmacy school, I was able, fortunately, to get in. I transferred in.
So 2 transfers right here. We both started pre-med.
There we go.
So it was first 2 years pre-med, and then
you transferred. All right, I didn't know that. Cool. Yeah, and it gives you a different perspective, right? Because I didn't go. I mean, from high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do really, but transferred in, and then from that point on, I was fortunate enough. Also, I grew up, and my parents still live in North Jersey, to get a job as a technician in a hospital, St. Joe's in Patterson. Just again because I had worked retail, not pharmacy, but just other retail jobs. I was really like, hey, if I can get a job as a tech in a hospital, awesome. I'll really see if I like it. And fortunately, I was able to get one, and I fell in love with it. I loved the team aspect of the health system. I loved the sheer system. I think I like complex systems, and a hospital pharmacy is definitely complex. We have a lot of things going on besides dispensing, and I thought it was a neat environment to work in. And so since that time, through school, I kind of kept my focus on doing training afterwards in terms of residency, which I did and completed, and then kind of the teaching bug hit me, and so now I'm a faculty member. So
now you're running those committees.
Now I'm running those committees right now. No, so
teams.
I still, as crazy as my schedule can be, there's definitely, the good thing is that I'm never bored, for sure. I'm always learning something new. I think one of the biggest reasons I like doing this is that of the people that I get to meet, beyond pharmacists and students and the techs that I work with, but nursing staff, physicians. And I know right now at Capital, it's one of the best environments I've worked in terms of really being horizontal. There's not a huge hierarchical approach, as Kevin I think I saw like this morning with our opioid stewardship team meeting. There's a lot of physicians, nurses, and everyone's got an equal seat at the table, which is kind of cool, which I still enjoy.
So I guess thank you for all that information on like why you became a clinical pharmacist. And again, that is an option open to you. It's not just CVS and the general things that we think of when we think of pharmacists. So I want to say thank you for your time, Mr. Beza. It's been great being on rotation with you.
Kevin.
And now on to the rest of my day. So we did it, just survived that day. So I got a good amount done on that seminar, but I still have a good amount left to go, but I'm pretty sure I got all the patient information I need from there to complete the seminar. So now the plan is, it's about 3:45, so if
I waited another like 20, 30, 40 minutes, then I would have been in the thick of rush hour, so I decided to leave now, hopefully beat the majority of it, instead of stay there until 6. So the plan is go home, eat something, and then it's probably gonna be hang at Starbucks until closing or until whenever I'm done. But also, I have the rubric for this seminar, so big study tip for anyone, any students, if you ever get the rubric, use the rubric. You will feel really dumb if you get your grade back, you don't do well, and they hand you that same rubric and you have 2 out of 5s circled. It's happened to me, I speak from experience, so use the rubric. Say hi, Mama Heinous.
Hey!
Mama says hello. Alright, so I'm having dinner right now. We always have some chicken ready for whenever. So always just cut up some chicken and then put some, what is that? Some Mrs. Dash. And then I'm just probably gonna have some ice cream. And then maybe if we have any steamable bags of like vegetables, I'll throw one of these in. That's gonna be the move for dinner, and then I'm gonna head over to Starbucks to finish up the seminar. So just took a shower because I was feeling cold because it's cold outside, and you know how good a hot shower feels when you're really cold. Then I don't have to do it later or before the presentation. But about to head over to Starbucks. Let me just break down what I did kind of rotation today. So today, typically we would come in at 8, work on patients for an hour. Then at 9 we have a pre-round with a preceptor. We talk about the things we want to adjust or the things about our patients that we picked up, and then our preceptor will tell us some more information or let us know if we can give recommendations to the team. Then after that, rounds can be 1 to like 2 hours. After that would be lunch around like, I guess it's 11:30 or so, because rounds are at like 10ish. And then pretty much we'll either have like a discussion or just be able to work on the projects that we have. And typically the days end a little early, or he'll just send us home to work on like our seminars or something. Besides that, or like our journal clubs we also had to work on. So today was a little different. We did not work up patients today. We came in at 8 like usual. We met up at, I believe, was 9, and then we went over some of the insulin protocol, and we got a couple papers to fill out with that because he wanted us to double check the new protocol that some of the other pharmacists had already run through. So he wanted to see, have us double check them and see if we got the same answers. So we did that pretty much until 11. And then we have these other things, those med-rec audits, which is like an ongoing project that we have. So usually do like 2 of those. And again, that's just double checking that the home meds coincide with what they're getting inpatient. And then when we discharge, to make sure that the med-rec when they came in. So usually when someone comes in, you talk to them and say, hey, what medications are you taking? And you want to double check. If you ask the patient, you want to double check what they say with probably their pharmacy and see if you can get that pharmacy information. So we pretty much have been working on that kind of stuff and make sure it's a good transition between coming in and going out. Then we all met up and went over those med-recs with the other students, and then just any questions about the whole process with that, because my preceptor's he's headlining that. We just got to work on our seminar the rest of the day. That was today. Tomorrow we are presenting the seminar. In my last video, I talked about what projects we get during clinicals. Usually you have a case presentation, sometimes a formal one, and you often have to do a seminar. So in this rotation, we're having those 2 put together, and our seminar pretty much is our case. So in mine, I'm picking heart failure. So I'm gonna go over some stuff on heart failure. Then my patient that I picked up has that condition, and then I'm gonna break down their therapy. It's called a SOAP note. That's subjective, objective, assessment, and plan. So you break down each disease state and then you show how they're being treated and then critique it at the end. So that's what I'm working on now. That's what I'm going to present tomorrow. It's got to be about 30 minutes, so got some work to do. About to head to Starbucks and hopefully get that done tonight. Oh boy. Alrighty, it is 4 hours later. It's 9:30 right now. I'm not sure if you can hear, but it's really windy right now and really cold. But I pretty much finished my whole presentation and everything. I just have to wake up pretty early tomorrow, or I have until I think noon or 1 to edit it until I present. The goal with what I still have to do is just put my citations down. The presentation tomorrow has to be, I think, 30 minutes and it'll cut me off. I think it's in between 35 and 40 slides, so
hopefully I can talk fast tomorrow. But it's 9:30, so I'm gonna head back home, and I'm not going to the gym tomorrow morning. I'm probably just gonna deadlift so I can do that after. But I wanna finish and read this over a few times in the morning to make sure I'm ready to present. Back at home and gonna call it a night. I'm just gonna have this Froyo mint and chip ice cream. That's what it looks like. It's actually pretty good. That's gonna do it for the day. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.